right. This class, the little briefing that I'm going to do for you is all about citizen's arrest, lawful and unlawful detainment, and use of deadly force as a citizen. That's exactly what we are. It pertains to security guards as well. So I'll give you a little briefing. Basically, Title 13 of the ARS, Chapter 4, talks about your citizens' rights in an emergency action, and when you can and can't do this. Private citizens or any individuals furnishing to the public for hire or for free watchman or patrol services, and a qualifying party doesn't pertain to us in this particular section. We'll start out with unavailability of justification of defense. Even though a person is justified under this chapter as threatening or using physical force or deadly physical force against another, if in doing so, such person recklessly injures or kills an innocent third person, justification accorded to him by this chapter is unavailable in prosecution for the reckless injury or killing of the innocent third person. 13-404 is the justification of self-defense. That's where we're going to end up being a lot of times is self-defense. A person is justified in threatening or using physical force against another when and to the extent a reasonable person would believe that physical force is immediately necessary to protect himself against others' use or attempted use of unlawful physical force. The threat or use of physical force against another is not justified in response to a verbal provocation alone. To resist an arrest, the person knows or should be made knowing that by a person acting in a peace officer's presence at his direction, whether the arrest is lawful or unlawful, unless physical force is used and exceeds that allowed by law. If the person is provoked, the other's use of attempted unlawful physical force is justified. If the person withdraws from the encounter or clearly communicates to the other his intent to do so reasonably, believing that he cannot safely withdraw from the encounter, or then the other nevertheless continues or attempts to use unlawful physical force against the person. So basically, what this is coming down to under Title 13 of the ARS is if we're out there and they attempt to do anything to us physically, whether it's with a weapon, throwing a rock, trying to come at us with sticks, whatever, we have the right in the state of Arizona to defend ourselves. We can't go looking for a fight. That's not justified, and you won't be covered under Title 13. You will be prosecuted. As far as citizen's arrest, Title 13, 3884 states that we can make a citizen's arrest at any time, day or night, if in our presence we see a crime being committed, or we have reasonable belief that a crime is being committed. Drawing our weapons on IAs is not justified. We can get in some serious trouble for that. We catch them with the packs, that's committing a felony, and we can get them. It's a gray area with them coming across the border and being illegal because Arizona law and federal law overlap there, and federal law takes precedence, and so we legally are not allowed to point our weapons at them at that point. So we need to really keep that in mind. When it comes to arrest, anything that we do to restrain them against their will, whether that's forcing them to sit on the ground or anything like that, that is arrest. If we cuff them, if we, use plastic cuffs or anything like that on them, that is an actual arrest. And at that time, we have no choice but to turn them over to law enforcement. We can't just let them go after that and say, be on your merry way and head back south. We have to turn them over. We have, there's also restrain, which is kind of what I was just talking about. It means to restrict a person's movement without consent, without legal authority, in the manner which interferes substantially with a person's liberty by either moving such person from one place or another, or by containing such person's restraint without consent, if it is accomplished by physical force, intimidation, or deception. So basically, you know, we really got to be careful about detaining them. If we catch them with the packs, it's a whole different story. They're committing a felony at that point. Anything more than 2 pounds in the state of Arizona of marijuana is a felony. And these packs are 30, 40, 50, 60 pounds. So it's definitely a felony, and we have the right to detain them.
Once they drop the pack stuff, they do, and then run, then even though we've seen them commit a crime, is it still, we let them go?
We have the right, because we saw them committing the crime, we have the right to chase them down. And that's kind of a tough call. We're out here and we're chasing somebody, and they're just beating it as fast as they can. At any given point, they can turn around and, you know, fire on us or do whatever. So catching them can kind of be a little difficult that way.
Dr. Base count.
Yesterday we had an unusual situation. He asked for some help go after an IA.
Yes.
But he was carrying drugs.
Yes. And that's actually covered in here. Anytime that a peace officer, whether it's LE, military, fire, or EMT, or anybody, asks us to help them, as long as it's not putting us in dire harm's way, we have to help them.